Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to the weather forecast here, and welcome to another weather video here by Adrian's Weather Forecast. And this is going to be a different video, not going to be focusing on the northeastern. Now we're actually going to be looking at a U.S. forecast, and we're going to be focusing on the extreme heat out here for much of the east and also getting into the plains. So as you guys are aware, we are now in the first couple of days of spring. It did start the 19th, but the thing is, we're jumping straight up to summer temperatures. We're not even in the 50s or 60s. We're going straight up to the 70s and 80s and even 90s out here into the southeast. For some of the areas that expect 40s and 50s, we'll be getting up to the 60s and 70s. And this is not just going to be Florida, Georgia, and really a southern thing. This is going to go all the way up to the northern plains and to the northeast. So definitely something we really need to talk about. And this could also be dangerous heat, as not many people are expected to see these 80s and are going to be not taking precautions that you would take in the summer. So again, definitely a major topic, and this is going to be happening for the next couple of weeks, not just a 3-day thing. This is going to be a long-lasting warm front, especially for the east. But if you are new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, guys. Really means a lot when you guys support my channel. But without further ado, let's get this video. So here you are looking at the NOAA outlook, and this is the 6 to 10 day outlook. So this is actually March 28th to April 1st. Sadly, we don't have any other outlook before then. But again, here is, as you can tell, we're going to be seeing really warm temperatures the first 2/3 of the eastern United States here, getting all the way from Boston, Massachusetts, up into now Montana. So definitely a really big area of the United States that's going to get really warm temperatures. But the thing is, we're actually getting all the way to an 80 to 90% chance, and that's where we'll be seeing the best chance out here for extremely warm temperatures. Here we'll be seeing 90s and getting into the high 90s. We don't really expect that for mid to late March for the first days of April. We do not expect that till getting into maybe May. And that's being a little bit generous. Not really till late May. We get all the way up to the 90s and really hot there. And again, for the general areas where we have really high chances, we're getting out much of the southeast will be between a 60 to a 90% chance for seeing above average temperatures. That's going to be from the 4th layer all the way up into the 6th layer. So that's really we'll have the best chance for seeing above average temperatures. And this is not going to be only 5 to 10 degrees above average. It's going to be from possibly 10 to 20 degrees above average. Again, that's what we'll be seeing the best chance for warmer temperatures. And then for the next 3 layers, that's going to be a 33% chance out there to a 66% chance. Yes, it's that's still a really good chance for seeing above average temperatures, but it won't be as bad and not as long lasting as right here into the deep southeast, where we have that up to a 90% chance. So that's basically what we're looking at the NOAA outlook here. So now we will be looking at the tropical tidbits now. Temperature anomaly. In the next 24 hours, you are telling me that we are really seeing quite some warm temperatures out here into the United States, but the worst of it's going to be out here into the southeast. This warm air does not really start really bad into really late, mid this week, really, when it starts to get really, really warm. So again, the next 24 hours here, we're going to start seeing this really warm air kind of packing up. Again, we'll actually be seeing 6 to 9 degrees above average actually in the next 48 hours. That's what we'll be seeing our first really big warm front of the week. And it's going to be actually, like I said, all the way in the northern plains. As you can tell, also the whole really northern Atlantic is at above average temperatures as well. And the whole west is actually below average temperatures. We'll be seeing a major area out here into the plains. In the plains and actually south central, we'll be seeing a really good chance for seeing more than 10 degrees above average for many areas out here into the northern plains. You guys will be seeing around the 4 to 6 degree above average outlook. As we now get in the next 72 hours, again, this warm front's going to get a lot worse. We're actually going to have multiple. Here we'll have our number 1 really big warm front. Here we'll have a number 2 right after each other. So again, we're not going to have a break for the plains nor the southeast. Again, we're actually be seeing this be the worst warm front of the week. At this point, we'll be getting really warm temperatures of possibly 12 plus degrees above average again, guys. Imagine the averages out here into the southeast. Imagine these averages are getting a lot higher. So as you get up to 12 degrees above average, as you get closer and closer to summer, these temperatures are going to be really, really high, especially for this time of the year. Same thing out here for the South Central into out here into the northern plains. Going to be seeing incredibly warm temperatures. From ranging the 4 to 8 degrees above average, really. And then again, imagine we're seeing Ontario really warm temperatures. As we now get the next 96 hours, this is not getting any better. Seeing a bit of a little bit of cool down, but that's still going to be from possibly 1 to 4 degrees above average. But here we have another really bad warm front that's going to be actually in the south central. We'll be seeing 12 to 15 degrees above average. That's going to be incredibly warm, as these highs in the south central will be incredibly high as well. And that's 120 hours. This is March 27th. This is going to be possibly a really, really bad time where we'll be seeing the sun's going to be really hot. We're going to be seeing chance for seeing sunburn, seeing some overheating, people overheating. So we definitely need to hydrate. As we remember, we're in spring. But again, we're not only seeing warm temperatures, we're going to be seeing summer temperatures already, as we're just ending with winter. Again, we'll be seeing more than 16 degrees above average in some of these areas. Let's say their average high 70, you're already getting up to 86. That's incredibly high. And then as we now get into Sunday, March 29th, we'll be seeing this warm front still out here into the southeast, and even seeing Canada, much of Canada starting to warming up. Have a bit of a cool down in the southeast and the south central, but then that does not really mean anything. We're going to be seeing by April 4th and the 6th, seeing another warm front, and it's just going to be continuing to see incredibly warm temperatures. Now we're going to be looking at the European radar, or European temperature anomaly, basically showing the same thing. The next 24 hours, again, seeing this warm air out here in the southeast, but maintaining at a good, really not extreme pace. Again, right now, still staying at 3 to 6 degrees above average. That's not too bad right now. Like I said, it doesn't really start really, really bad until mid this week. And then as we get in mid this week, this is now Tuesday. This is when the temperatures really start to really get really high again, seeing really warm temperatures. Look at all of these areas out here in the United States. All of these people will be seeing above average temperatures and getting into either late spring to really early summer temperatures. Again, by Wednesday, things do not get any better. We're actually seeing up to 11 to 12 degrees above average out here in the southern plains, and then seeing this warm air taking over eastern Canada and taking over not only the Gulf, southern Pacific, and Central Pacific and northern Atlantic. And as we now get into Friday, it does not get any better, especially that we have the whole northern Atlantic and even the whole ocean surrounding the east coast will be above average. There's really no hope for this warm air to stop at any point, anytime soon. Again, seeing these temperatures will be climbing up to 15 plus degrees above average in the southeast, and then for the east coast, you guys will be seeing closer to 6 to 8 degrees above average. As we now get closer into Saturday, it's going to get way, way worse. Seeing the worst of the heat now moving towards the east coast, and it's going to be getting a lot worse, getting to 17 degrees above average throughout Virginia and the Carolinas, and then climbing up to 18 plus degrees above average, getting very close to 20 degrees above average. You think, oh wow, this cold air is going to be taking over now, so this will be the last warm front. It may be the worst, but it's going to be the last. Well, that's what it looks like for a while. But then as we now get into the 1st of April, look at all of this warm air. And whatever really comes from Western Canada and comes to the United States, there's really no stopping it really midway unless we'll have this cold air in the northern Atlantic. But again, as you can tell, this ridge of the warm air is definitely going to start taking over again. It's going to flip-flop for a couple of days, but going to come back to what it's like right now. Very soon, if not the whole country will be seeing a warm temperatures. That's what it's going to look like soon. Again, the highs, we're going to be looking at the real-time temperatures. The highs today tomorrow are actually going to be very high, especially out here in the South Central. We're gonna start seeing some mid 70s and up to some mid to high 80s in Texas, seeing some 80s now out there into the Gulf again. That's nothing major, but let's wait until we get later into this week. Again, next by Tuesday, these temperatures are going to start getting a lot higher. Even seeing some 60s, some really high 60s, getting all the way into the Ozarks. Seeing some 60s all the way into the Northern Plains, which is usually we don't see till April. Seeing now some 50s and 60s getting into the mid-Atlantic, which is awfully high. Seeing high 80s in Florida, high 80s, and getting into southern Texas. And now I've seen a bit of a cool down there. Seeing some 60s at overnight lows, but as we now get now into Thursday, this when things start to change. Look at this, seeing 60 guys in Cleveland. You know how many times we see 60s in mid-March or late March? Seeing 70s out there all the way in southern Indiana, guys. We're seeing 40s in Maine. We usually maintain the 20s and 30s in Maine. Seeing close to 60s in New York City. Seeing our first 90s in Florida of the year. Seeing close to 90 degrees in Oklahoma City. 90s in Pensacola. Getting some really nice 80s out there. And this is really high temperatures. Now we'll be getting not only in the 90s, but getting up to 92 to 95. Guys, we're seeing some 70s in southern Indiana in March. Seeing some 40s now turn into 50s into the Midwest. We're seeing these 50s turn into 60s in the Northeast. And then it will calm down just a little bit from late March, but as we now get closer and closer to the 1st of April, almost the whole Plains, Midwest, Ozarks, South Central will be in the 60s. And that's going to be as really the highs. But again, that's still really high for the highs. Again, seeing a bit of a cool down for the first couple of days of April. That little cold front, seeing some 60s, even 40s in April in the Southeast. And then we'll have these 60s and 70s come back. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and bye, guys.